Welcome. Welcome to another episode with your host, That CBD Girl. And today's episode is going to be a little different than usual. Yes, we're still talking about CBD, but we are going to talk about myself. And you're probably wondering who I am and where I get off talking about CBD myself. So I thought I'd just give you guys a little bit of background about myself and why I'm doing this podcast. So yes, my name is Carly, and I grew up in Bakersfield, California. I was born in Southern California, but we moved here when I was really young for my mom's job. And yes, we've been here ever since. So I grew up here, went to high school. After I graduated, I went to college, and college was smooth for me. I got a lot done really fast, but I didn't have a very clear vision or understanding of myself. So I didn't really choose a major that I thought I wanted to do forever. Well, I guess I did think that at one point, but I did major in child development because I've always had a passion in helping people, and I wanted to find a way to do that. And kids are our future, so I thought, why not start with them? But after graduating, when you want to work with kids, if you guys aren't familiar, there is a lot of education that goes into it. So it was going to require a lot more school than I really wanted to do. So I did not continue my education after college to go into the career I wanted to with children. So instead, I became a claims adjuster. Yes, very, very random. My mom was actually a claims adjuster, so she introduced me to the position, and I was able to get a job there and start a career, which was nice. I was really young. I was 22. It was nice to have a job making money, but I was not happy. I don't know how everyone else feels, but a desk job is very hard. It's hard to sit there all day, and especially at a young age, knowing that there's just so much more out there. And I was presented with a few opportunities with the company to continue to grow with it. And I ended up opting not to, and was kind of just floating for a while. Wasn't sure where I was going to go or what I was going to do with the rest of my working life. But I made some friends, a lot of friends actually. But a few of them, we tried to start a marijuana delivery service, a medical marijuana delivery service. Now, this was back in 2012, so it was still kind of the green rush at the time. So it was kind of anybody could do it. And so we started that, and that is where I learned about CBD. Cannabis, yes, has its medicinal properties, which I was very passionate about and still am. It's definitely... Cannabis is an amazing plant. And so when I learned about CBD, that it's non-psychoactive and that it has almost the same medical benefits, if not more, actually, yeah, it does have more. I jumped on it. I was like, wow, I need to try this stuff. So the first CBD product that I tried was a emu oil, which the company I think is actually under Canna Originals. And I think they started out of Bakersfield as well. But I knew one of the guys that started it up. So tried his product, and I've always struggled with back problems. I've been an athlete my whole life, soccer player. And in high school, my back just went out on me, and none of the doctors or chiropractors were able to tell me what was wrong with it, which was really frustrating. I wasn't the best soccer player, but I wanted to go play in college, and I wanted to keep playing. So it really bummed me out and was very discouraging that every time I'd be on the field, I was just in pain and nobody could tell me why. And so CBD, I wish I had it younger. I wish that we knew more about it then. Because I think that it could have definitely helped me continue my soccer career, which is very unfortunate. But here we are today. And I was able to find relief with the CBD products that I tried from Emu Oil. So we started carrying the products at the delivery service, and of course I was like telling everybody about this because it was amazing. It was a salve, and I made a friend through that delivery service, who became a really good friend of mine. Shout out, her name's Alyssa. She's awesome. And she was working for a few cannabis companies at the time, and one of them had an oral spray, and that is the first time I ingested a complete CBD, pure CBD product, which was really interesting for me. And so I kept using it. The delivery service, it didn't end up working out for myself. It wasn't actually the business that I was trying to get into, so I made my way out. I stayed working at State Farm for a while, and one day, I was really into self-care, crystals, like goddess baths, doing all these things to take care of myself. And I was using a lot of bath bombs, and one day I was like, well, what if I put the CBD in the bath bomb? That'll be so relaxing. So I did a test run and tried it. I learned how to make a bath bomb and everything. And it was amazing. I was like, wow, this is cool. So I kept making it and kind of just perfected a few things and started sharing them with some friends, and everyone was really, really liking it. But what's funny is I remember sharing the idea with a friend, and she was like, no way that'll work. And even she ended up liking it. So that was really cool. And since I was just really not happy with my position working as a claims adjuster, I decided to take a leap of faith and invest in myself and take the money I've saved, and I invested it in starting this company, who is now Quartz Trading Co. The name of Quartz, it comes from basically my passion in crystals. Quartz is the master healer of all crystals. It has the most energy, and if you ever need just like a all-around good crystal, you can always count on a quartz. And hemp kind of stood out as very similar because it also is the master healer of kind of plants, like you could use it for, I think there's over 100 uses for the plant. So, yeah, I was like, well, that's cool. I want to name it after Quartz. So Quartz was born, and I also decided to put something inside the bath bomb because I like to get my money's worth. I'm definitely that person. So if I buy something that's a one-time use and I'm going to pay some money for it, I think it's always cooler if I have something to remember it by. So I decided I was going to put a crystal inside everybody's bath bomb so that they could get their own crystal and start their own little collection. So I did. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. I didn't really tell anybody I was going to quit my job and pursue my CBD business, which really was just a baby at the time. It was barely established. And yeah, I just woke up one morning and I couldn't do it anymore. I just knew that this was my new road, and I had to start driving on it. I could not wait another minute. So I wrote a letter, and I finished my day out at that job, and I left, and really, I don't think that I've ever looked back. Maybe a couple times, but nothing serious. So that's how I learned about CBD and kind of how I wound up here. That was about 3-ish years ago now. So yeah, that's pretty cool. They say if you make it past 2 years, you're in the clear, but really you're never in the clear. It's always an uphill battle to keep going and keep motivating yourself and just keep up with what's going on. Anyway, yes, I do use CBD. I use it daily, and my favorite product is definitely topically. I find that I get the fastest relief that way. And the bath bombs are definitely my favorite. And actually the lotion is my new favorite. My new Quartz Trading Co. CBD lotion. It's 500 milligrams, so it's very concentrated. It's awesome. The bath bombs, though, have changed the way I bath forever. I don't think that yeah, I've gotten in a bath like maybe twice without a bath bomb just to see how it would be. And it was everything I thought it would be. Horrible. So never did that again. It was boring. So yeah, I definitely have the luxury of making those for myself, but don't have time to take as many as I'd like, unfortunately. But yeah, I love them. And then the tincture, I also use the tincture, which is the drops under the tongue. I find that those give me kind of just a balanced feel throughout the day, and just in general. I'm really big on the toxins. I strongly believe that the toxins that we breathe in, that they cause the inflammation that leads to a lot of illnesses, like chronic pain illnesses and autoimmune diseases. So I believe that CBD helps prevent those. So I definitely try to use it as a vitamin daily so that I can prevent that from happening, because a lot of those things run in my family. So I already definitely feel carpal tunnel coming on. So I definitely try to use CBD as much as I can. And with all my back pain, it definitely helps me significantly. There are days where I'm not sure, like, walking is going to be a fun thing, but I can always count on CBD to make sure that I forget about that pain that's in my back, which is crazy. So although I don't have a super crazy story, I know a lot of CBD companies that are here today, like Charlotte's Web, they formed based on, some healing something or someone. And I don't really have that story. But what I have is the passion to help people, the passion to believe in something natural that is not mainstream, that is not the government or a foundation or an organization of any sort telling us this is what we have to take or this is what you have to use. So I just enjoy being that person to tell people that here is this natural option. I know you struggle with this or that, but I've always felt that in my blood. I've always felt that I am a healer. I've always been, the mediator in the room. So I like to share things with others when it comes to things that work. And if you know me at all, when I hear of something I like, everyone else is going to know about it too. I like sharing. I like telling the world that this product is awesome and I'm using it and you should too. So that's why I wanted to do my own thing. Plus, in 2016, when I started this, there really weren't a lot of options for CBD products out there. And if there were, it was like a tincture or the spray. There weren't a salve. There weren't a lot of unique products, and definitely not bath bombs. So it was definitely something different that I got to bring to the table and got to everybody, which was fun. And just in general, taking that leap from my job and deciding to invest in myself was really big. I definitely am one of those secure persons. It's important for me, and I grew up this way, to have everything, all your ducks in a row. Don't quit a job before you have another. Make sure you have a savings. Always have a 401k. Think about your future. That is how I was raised. So this is not ideal in my family's eyes. It wasn't at the time when I first opened it, because none of that was for sure. Things have changed, and we work hard so we can get the things that we need. And things are going a lot better. They're going very well. So glad I get to still be here and share these things with you. And that's kind of why I started to do this podcast, because I like to share the knowledge and to share with you guys what it's like, owning a CBD business in this day and age, and just to bring you an insight from everyday people, regular people, because that's, all we all are. And, I think it's just nice